Welcome everyone to another episode of Let's Talk Family. Let's Talk Family is a bi-weekly show that's dedicated to issues and things dealing with the family. The spectrum of topics go from finance to health to dealing with disabilities, whatever the case may be that we're dealing into the home. And the goal and the aim and the focus is to provide you, the viewer, with information to strengthen your family. All right, I am your host, Warren, Mr. Bowtie Feaster, and I have with me today a very special guest. And the reason why let me tell a little bit why I wanted to do this show before we get started. The reason why I want to do this show is because almost every child, when they're young, has hopes and dreams after seeing some show or some movie video or hear some song, and they aspire to be in the music industry or the film industry or anything like that. So I decided to get a good friend of mine to come on here and talk about the process that she went through to get into the professional realm. Now, everybody has hopes and dreams about it. So let's talk to somebody that has done it. So I ask you all to welcome my good friend, Kiki.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome. So glad to have you.
Thank you
Go
for
ahead.
having me.
No problem. Go ahead and take a few minutes and tell our viewers who you are.
Well, hello. As he mentioned before, my name is Kei'Undrea Turner. I am from the great city or state, state of Arkansas, Forrest City, Arkansas, to be exact. I am a graduate from HBCU. I went to University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff. Go Golden Lions. Yes. I've been here in Crestview for about 8 years now, almost 8 years. And I met Mr. Bowtie when I used to work at Subway on post. So that's how we became friends and everything. I attended Northwest Florida State College to take acting classes here. And ever since then, I've been acting, and that was back in 2015. So I've been acting ever since then. So yeah.
Well, as you've given us your background, you have to give us where you've been acting. So go ahead and let them know so they'll know, that where you've been and how they can find you, where they can see you at.
Where they out like shows?
Yes, shows.
Well, the most recent show I've been on was Queen Sugar, and that was season 4, episode 12 is where you will find me. They have one more season left before they end the show. So I don't know. Hopefully my character come back. Praying for it. So I don't know. Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Yeah. So let me tell y'all why I asked her to be on the show. For one main reason, the process of getting to stardom is not an overnight process. And she had a job before where she was a greeter. And I remember coming in there one day and she was working. And I said, "What are you going to be doing later?" And she went to tell me about what she had to do at that particular job that day. And when she finished, I said, "No, that's not what I'm talking about." I said, "You don't look like you're supposed to be here. Like you look in this job like this is just a stepping stone to get where you want." So I wanted the viewers to get a feel for that initial startup. Like
Mm.
when you decided you want to go into acting, the misconception as we think about it, what is I'm going to get a big role tomorrow or my first big role. So, like, first of all, let's talk about what got you started. Like, what sparked the interest?
Nice. What sparked my interest in acting was actually the show Maisha,
Mm,
Brandy.
yeah,
I'm a big, huge fan of Brandy. So, like, I had all her CDs growing up. I had her
I
doll. She had a Barbie.
she
She had a
did.
Barbie doll. She did, and I had that too. And like Cinderella, when she played Cinderella, like I had that tape. I had the VHS, and like I wore that tape out. But yeah, that was I wanted to be like her. I wanted to do everything like her. I wanted to sing like her. I wanted to act like her. I wanted to be Brandy. And every time I saw Moesha or whatever show or movie she did, I was like, I would say to myself, I can do that. I want to do that.
Right.
So yeah, she was my motivation, like into getting into acting.
So, what was the first step? How did you get in? When you decided that's what you want to do, what was that first step?
Well, the first step was taking classes. That was like getting trained. That was the number one thing, which was what I started doing back in 2015, which
Mhm.
was taking acting classes up at Northwest Florida State College in Niceville.
Yeah.
I took acting one and two, and then I did some networking with some of the students in the classroom and found out where they were taking classes at outside of the school. And
Hmm.
I got in touch with the acting teachers in the area here in Fort Walton, Destin area, and I mentioned that I wanted, to be in their acting classes. How can I sign up? And so
Right.
I went from the college to the acting studio, and so on and so forth. Boot camp, so on and so forth.
Yeah. What was that process like during the acting classes and that initial phase? What was that like?
I mean, it's you kind of like when you think, oh, I know, like I got it, but when you actually have to get up and perform in
Right.
front of your peers, your classmates, and it's like when they give you feedback, and it's like, well, I don't think, like, I think she could do this better, or you know what I'm saying. So you just be like, okay, well, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know everything because it's more than just memorizing lines.
Right.
I tell people that it's so much more than just
And
memorizing
if
lines.
it's more than just memorizing line, what else is it?
Yeah, listen, it's a whole um like preparation inside and out, emotional preparation, mental preparation.
Right.
You're becoming this character, so you have to build this story. You have to create a story for this character. You have to
Right.
break down this character, why this character is the way that they are. What's the backstory? Is this character the only child? Do they have siblings? Like, you have to create the story if it doesn't already have one. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it be like that, where you don't really have much to go on, so you got to kind of create this character based upon what it says in the script.
Right.
you know so it's a whole lot. Like, it's not just what's on paper and what's on lines. Like, you got to dig deep. You got to become this vessel. You got to turn in to Layla, this
Yeah.
character that I played. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah.
so does acting school help you with that? Do they walk you through that? Do they?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's what they get all this money for. You know what I'm saying? They better do something. All this money we be having to pay. Of course. Oh yeah. Yeah. Breaking down characters, scene analysis, emotional prep, all of that. All of
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
Workshops up too. I went to Tasha Smith's workshop. If those who don't know who Tasha Smith is, she played Angela.
Yeah, I like.
Why did I get married?
Yeah, I like Tasha Smith.
Yes, and the way that she is, and why did I get married is how she is in real life. Like
Oh, so
she
she ain't
loud.
acting.
Like her personality is big, just like
Yeah,
her character. So yes, what you see
yeah.
is in like she was real deal. Like when I tell you when she says no holds barred, that's exactly what she means.
Mm,
Like because she wants you to be great and to be one of the best. And when
yeah.
I went to her workshop, when I tell you I was tired, like physically tired because we she took us through so many exercises as far as emotional exercises. And yeah, it was like one of the best workshops I've ever been to,
Yeah,
and it was money like well spent.
yeah. So you made your mind up and you went to school.
Mm.
Um, how long was the training? How long was it initially?
Well, it was a semester. It was like taking classes up at the college. So it was a semester for acting one, and then the following semester for acting two.
Right,
I didn't do acting three because then I switched over to taking classes up at the studio.
right.
And so when I started taking classes at the studio, I had to do that before I can get in their boot camp to go on the showcase to be able to perform in front of agencies,
So when you say boot camp, what is that? What
like an
is?
acting boot camp. Like I have to,
Oh,
go to class,
oh,
and like they teach audition techniques as well as scene analysis, code readings, and everything, etc.,
oh.
etc. Yeah, yeah. So I had to do like maybe a few weeks of boot camp before I was able to qualify to go on showcase, which was to be able to perform in front of agencies so that I can get signed.
So so it's layered to get in.
Right. Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Marathon, not a
yeah.
sprint.
So you gotta stay focused and be determined is what you're telling me.
Right, right. And it takes time.
Yeah,
It takes time. Like seriously. That's why they say if acting was easy, everybody would do it. Like it takes a special kind of person to just be like, oh, I want to be an actor because you don't have jobs every day. I still have a day job, you know, because I'm not acting every day. But if you love it, it's not an issue with me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I love acting. I love what I do.
I remember you and I was talking a while ago, and you was like, "There's nothing else. Like this is it. Like
This,
this is it. Like this is it.
yeah,
Like there is no plan B. Plan B is plan A point one. Like there is no plan B. Like so
exactly.
you have an agent.
Yes.
And so what does your agent do for you?
She also helps me find roles. She
Okay.
looks for roles for me. She submit me for roles as well. Certain roles I don't see that agents might get. So the roles that she get, we call them breakdowns. The breakdowns that she receives from me,
Mhm.
she sends to me because I don't see. Like I can also submit myself through a site called Actors Access, which every actor should have, or what I'm saying, should be a part of if you're an actor or aspiring to be an actor. You want to have an Actors Access page because that's where they have all the breakdowns of like short films, commercials, films, student films, TV shows. Some TV shows they have listed on there. But yeah, she submits me for roles as well. She also like recommends like any workshops and stuff that might come up in the Atlanta area. If I don't already know about it. So yeah, like she how can I say this? It's just like she's like I don't know, like my right hand woman or something.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like she's doing stuff for me like on this end while I'm working,
yeah.
with myself on this end.
So how often do y'all communicate? Is it like a weekly thing or every other day thing?
It could be. I mean, because now this is pilot season, so a lot of agents are busy during this time. So I'm not like hitting her up every day or weekly. It's just on a, I guess, like a case by case,
Yeah,
base. Because I try not to get, because I'm not the only one that she represents. She has other actors and actresses that she represents, and that she also works for. So yeah, I'm not like all up in her ear.
yeah. How did you get the agent?
Through the showcase after I did the boot camp, the acting boot camp. I qualified for the showcase in Atlanta. They have like different showcases throughout the year in Atlanta, in Orlando, New Orleans. I know they not too long added LA and New York. I think they're going to be doing New York real soon. But yeah, I did a showcase up in Atlanta and performed in front of maybe I think about like 4 agencies, and I got signed with BMG. At that time, it was Babes and Bows, but they changed to BMG Talent.
Yeah,
So yeah, and I've been with them ever since. That was back in 2016 when I got signed.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
you got an agent. What was your first role?
My first television appearance was Homicide Hunter
Okay.
on the ID channel. That was my first TV appearance. And I've done like a commercial, done some short films and everything, but that was my first TV appearance was
Yeah.
Homicide Hunter.
How was that process? Like, go.
Well,
I'm breaking out into the TV.
that was actually I booked that one from a digital snapshot. Like I didn't even audition for that
Oh,
role. Yeah, I didn't even audition. And sometimes that happened too. Like you would get booked from just your headshot.
oh wow.
Yeah, so for that role, I didn't even audition for it. They just asked for a digital snapshot of what I look like currently, and I sent that. And then not too long after that, I was like, "Oh, you booked the role." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah. You was a little feisty, a little something in that one.
okay."
That was out of character for you.
I, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Not like how I know that it could be.
Right, right. So when you got on set for the first time. Were you in awe, like, oh my gosh, like I finally made it. I've arrived. I'm here.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, yeah. I mean because it was like real. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a student film. I was working like it was gonna be on TV.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, But I mean, it was cool though. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, like okay, like no, it was just like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying? Let's go.
did, so your agent did help you with that one.
Yeah, she sent
Oh,
me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, she sent me the breakdown or the notice or the email about it. They just asked for a snapshot and she sent it to them to casting and it
Hmm.
was
So
up here.
are there some actors that don't have agents?
Hmm.
So they just got to do all the work by themselves.
Well, they tell you don't really need an agent, but it helps to have one.
Right.
Yeah, it helps to have one. I mean, because just like I said, they get breakdowns that I don't get.
Right.
like that I don't see. Like that Queen Sugar breakdown was not on Actors Access. She sent that to me directly through email.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't have to have an agent, but it helps to have one because you can submit yourself. I submit myself still on,
Yeah.
on this end, just like my
So,
agent submits for me on that end.
since you brought up Queen Sugar, we got to talk about that Queen Sugar. Because the
Okay.
way you played that role was, first of all, if the people don't know you, they don't know that that was not you. Like you really had to act to play that role, you
Mm,
know. And the one scene that I talked to you about for like 2 weeks, or like every time I talked to you for like the next 10 times, was
the
when you
bag.
drop the bag. Like you drop, and me thinking you literally just dropped the bag, but you was like, you know how many times I dropped that bag, or how many times we had to redo that scene, and that's the part that gets me. It's
Mm,
like when you're watching these shows, we know that there could be one or two different takes and stuff like that, but the way you said that was like you dropped that bag like 10, 15 times. Like you was getting
thank you.
tired of dropping that bag.
No, it was cool. I enjoyed it. Like, like I said, if you love doing, if you love what it is that you do, the little aspects of it don't bother you. So, I
Yeah,
mean, but yeah, like we started shooting that scene. It was like maybe 11, 12 o'clock.
yeah,
Well, we met on that location around by that time. Probably didn't start shooting maybe to around about like 1, maybe after we did rehearsals. And we didn't get finished till like about maybe 9. So we was
11.
outside. We was outside in Louisiana in the heat because I was doing when it's
Yeah,
hot. So yeah, and we like I said, I shot that scene so it was so many takes because they shoot it from different angles,
mm,
different sides. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're gonna shoot this side, shoot this side, shoot from behind you on this side. Like they shot from so many angles.
right.
So
And
yeah,
so, when you said you just made me think of something totally different than what I initially was thinking, because when you say we shot it so many times, initially I was thinking like, man, it was okay. So it was a lot of them because hold on, I'm doubling up on my own self. All right, so when I hear scenes have to be redone, I'm thinking about outtakes where there are always mistakes, a line, or we done messed up something, or a bird flew in, or a plane flew by,
mm-hmm.
or we forgot to turn the sound on, or
Yeah,
light.
that too. Mm-hmm.
But you're also saying, in addition to all that, you've had to redo the same
Mm-hmm.
scene. Everything was perfect, but we got to do it from a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. That's the fun part. What you mean? It's fun.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying it's
But
not.
yeah, I know.
But it's like, that, oh my gosh, that was perfect. That was perfect. All right, so now we're gonna take the scene and we're gonna do it from this angle.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, that's exactly how it was, or how it is.
Wow, that right there caught me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, because you can have a perfect scene, and then you got to redo the perfect scene at
Mm-hmm.
another angle. So if you do it at a different angle, is it still like, can you recreate the perfect scene? Is it because they're always gonna be different?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm,
That's
that's
like a professional.
oh,
You
excuse me.
you gonna make it do what it do because this is what you getting paid for. It's what they,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's what they're paying you to do.
yeah.
So if you gotta shed tears again, shed them tears. Whatever it is, and
Don't you?
make it just as good as it was the last time, if not better.
But it's hot and you're tired. Now what?
What they mean? You keep going. we get breaks in between when they gotta reset up everything, reset up the cameras and all that stuff. We get breaks. That's a break.
Yeah,
Then for you to get your bearings or whatever, and then once they done setting up their cameras and the sound and getting it the way that they want it. All right.
How long does that process normally take? Because when you're saying switching angles and stuff like that, so there was your break.
Maybe like 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, that ain't a long
Because
break.
that's when they bring in a stand-in. So we're just not out there in the heat.
Oh,
Just standing there. We get to leave and go inside of a building or inside of a tent where it's cool and stuff and like touch up makeup, hair, and all that stuff. Then they're bringing the stand-ins that they also cast for.
mm.
They get somebody that's about your height, and about your build, so they can, set the cameras just right.
So I may not get a chance of being an actor on screen, but I can be a stand-in on set.
Yeah, you could, or you could do background.
You know what? I said I'm gonna start telling folks that I'm background for Star Wars. I'm a stormtrooper. What I said I'm gonna start doing, telling everybody I was a stormtrooper in Empire Strike Back.
Oh goodness.
So that's another aspect that I didn't think about it. So it's not just the acting part, but it's like the background and stand up. So wait a minute. So background, how do you get that? You gotta have an agent for that? Is there a
Uh-uh.
call for that?
Mm-mm. You don't have. They post just like they do any other breakdown / role. Yeah, you can sign up to do background work. You don't have to have an agent for that.
Do I have
Anybody can do background work.
do I have to have a acting degree?
No. When I say anybody can do background, anybody can do background.
So I can go on the website and see they need a bald headed black guy to wear glasses and
I
do I
mean, it might not even be that. It could just be we need extras for a restaurant scene.
oh,
Something as simple as that.
oh.
Or we need club goers or something like that, or business people. Something as simple as that.
A lot of times I'm gonna be a little transparent here. A lot of times those extras, I thought they just pull people out the crowd. Like if they're doing a live scene,
Hmm.
and they pull people out of the crowd to go in. I didn't realize that there was actually a process for the
Hmm.
extras. Oh man, yeah, I'm
Yeah, it's
serious.
like they cast. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's kind of like a process too for that, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I got a chance of being an extra then.
Yeah.
So when you was on set at Queen Sugar, since we're still talking about Queen Sugar, how was it working with the celebrities that you were working with?
What? What you mean? It was dope. It was especially
Yeah,
who I'm about to say. Now, like, don't get me wrong. I love all the actresses that was there. Like, but David Allen Greer.
yeah.
And I was like playing his girlfriend, and I was just like, I grew up watching this man.
In living color.
Yes. I grew up watching that. Like,
Yeah.
like to be here face to face. And then he asked me between, breaks while they were setting up the cameras and everything. He asked me, he was like, "You want to run lines? You want to run lines with us?" And I was like, "Yes." Yeah. What? Yes. I
Yeah,
would love to.
yeah,
It was amazing. He was so cool, like cracking jokes in between scenes. But you would think because he's a comedian that he would just be like just funny, like just be on all the time with cracking jokes. But he was actually like really cool and laid back. He might crack a joke here and there, but it wasn't just like on all the time. Like he
yeah.
was just cool. And then like if he happened to be cracking jokes and stuff while we're shooting in between shooting, it was just like once they were like, "All right, we finna start," and it was just like,
Mm,
and just like to see that, and I was just like, I was like, wow, I am just like in the midst of all these great actors and actresses right now. So I was really just feeding off of them, and just like everybody was just like, you were so good. Like if you can see what we saw through the camera, it was like you was so good. They was
Oh,
like your character is coming back for sure. I was
they
like,
need to bring her back. They well,
yes, please.
yeah, yeah. So I remember something you was telling me about working with David Allen Greer, and you were saying how, and you kind of just alluded to it, how he was able to just flip and just
Mhm.
get into character so quick and so smooth.
Mhm.
That's that that's probably take a lot of work.
Yeah, that's top notch right there.
Yeah.
That's
What's your
top.
process?
Oh, some people never come out of character.
I've heard that.
Some people like just stay in it until after the TV show or after that episode. I mean, after that episode or after that movie is finished filming. Like, but man, some people just in it from beginning to the end. My process to stay in character, which is I was just really just focusing on Layla. I was kind of taking myself, like Kiki, like what Kiki would do and stuff like this, and just really about Layla and what she was going through in that moment. So that's how I was just able to just like focus and stay in character.
Right. Yeah. Hmm. That's got to be that has to be a process to learn,
Mm-hmm.
because you're Layla in one show and then you're Barbara in another show.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you like from scene to scene, character to character, do you just like dump? Do you just like, I'm done with that character, so I just move on? Do you, because that's a lot of embedment that you have to do. That's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
taking on that you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So when
Mm-hmm.
when like that episode of Queen Sugar, now that episode is over,
Mm-hmm.
do you does we put Layla on the shelf, or does Layla does a piece of Layla come into the next role that you're trying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think, well, I think there's something different with each character that you play. So Layla is Layla, and then Tamika is Tamika.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't bring Layla in over to Tamika's
And that's,
character.
I guess that's the professional side of it, because you gotta turn off one character to go to the next character.
Hmm. And that's just like when people play twins, like when people have dual roles. Like, so if I was playing a twin and I
Oh,
have to, but the twins are extremely different, it's just like that,
yeah.
you know? So which is really cool. I would love to do that, play a twin. Cause I
Right.
always wanted, when I was younger, I wish I was a twin, an identical twin.
I'm glad I didn't have one. I wanted one so I get in more trouble.
Oh, see, no, I just think it's cool. I see two different things here. I wanted to have an identical twin because I think that's just so cool. Like to
Yeah,
have a person, just like another physical person that looks almost exactly like you.
yeah. I know a twin that the first time they had to separate by, a body of water, go from, one was in one continent, and the other one was in another continent. That twin cried for 3 months because that was the first time they had been separated.
Hmm. Wow.
That was the first time they had been separated that long and that far. And
Wow.
3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months.
Mm.
So the process of going from one acting job, one position, one character, to the other character, that is, That's that's where the talent comes in at.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the professional side come in at. You know, I mean, and so the only thing I know about honestly really is impromptu acting, and I am
Mm-hmm.
a
No
fan.
script.
Right, I am a fan of impromptu acting.
Mm-hmm.
To me, and maybe because I'm a fan of it, that right there shows you how good a person can act because you're given
Like off top.
off top, and then that
Yeah.
person has, that person has to maybe get 15, 30 seconds a minute to prepare, but you got to jump on, and then when you jump on you got to maintain the whole time while you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to check on my dog. He was
You're
looking
fine.
kind of sounded kind of suspect back here. Um but and I think that's the professional side of it, and that separates the local guy that does acting at church or for the local community or for the local play. That
Mm-hmm.
separates that professional from being able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do they teach you that in school?
How to teach us what? I'm sorry.
Switching from role to role, because to me that seemed like a big deal. Maybe I'll make it a big deal out of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, well, me personally, because I can't speak, for everybody else, but no, it's just like once that project is done, it's just like, okay,
Yeah,
on to the next. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, okay.
So, at least for me, like, I can't
Yeah.
speak for everybody else, though.
Okay, so you've broken into mainstream movie, and you've been on the side of David Allen Greer, and you've been on a great running show, Queen Sugar. Um, what are some of the things when you went in, you thought it was going to be one way and found out that it was totally different?
When I started acting,
Yeah, like you went into acting thinking it was going to be bells and whistles and found out it was mud and chains. No,
well, I didn't know that it entails a lot, like as far as the business side of it, and not just
yeah,
the acting side of it. Like you gotta have your resume. I mean, even if you hadn't done any work, like if you did church plays, school plays, like
hmm,
that can be added, to your resume. Because I hadn't, and that's all I had to go on before, I gained credit. Was church plays, and that was it, because my school really didn't have like a theater department,
right.
so it was nothing but church plays that I did growing up. So that was it. But yeah, you have to worry about the business side of it too. You have to make sure that your resume
Yeah,
is updated and up to par, in your headshots, professional headshots, not headshots that you took by yourself or had a friend take
say
them.
that again for the people in the cheap seats.
You need a professional headshot because they know how an actor's headshot's supposed to look. They know how a model's headshot's supposed to look. It's supposed to look a certain way, and they can tell if it's not a real headshot if you just took it yourself off your iPhone. Because
Tell me,
now, I mean, because iPhone takes some really good pictures. You know what I'm saying? To the point to where it does look professional, but to the trained eye,
mm-hmm.
they what is this?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
So you have to, like, if you have business cards, some actors have business cards. Like you have to make sure that business side of it, like your actors access account has to be up to date. Your casting network account has to be up to date with all your if you work on anything, like you have to constantly add that. Like anything you work on, you have to remember to add it to your account so that your agents, because your agents have access to your account too. So when they submit you, they submitting whatever you have on your account to the clients that wants to book you.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, stuff I didn't know about. I'm just thinking, well,
I just need to act.
yeah,
Yeah.
like just I mean, but hey, you know,
Any other myths that people going in like? I know for me because
yes. Go
I,
ahead.
I was one of the ones that when I was younger I wanted to be a professional singer. Tell you the truth, and
Mm-hmm.
I fell back, but I thought it was an overnight process.
Oh.
I thought it was I can sing a little bit, so you know what I'm saying. I just need to find a spot and find an agent, and then I'll be Mr. Bow Tie, the what I'm saying. But
Mhm.
I'm watching a lot of these shows that they deal with different groups and singers. Let me know it's not an overnight process.
Mm-hmm. It's not. It's not. Especially like when you submit for roles,
Yeah,
you might not hear back from like the roles you submitted to, even if you know that you fit the role and have all that they're asking for. You might not hear back, and even just like with audition, you you get called in for an audition or whatever, and that might have been your best work like ever. You feeling good. They even telling you like, yo, that was amazing. Like, we loved you.
yeah,
But
nothing.
you don't book the role. And you be like, well, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No, wait a minute. I thought we was here. I thought we was on the same page. What happened?
yeah,
And that's just how it is. Like you're gonna hear 100 no's,
mm,
maybe even 1,000 no's before you get to that one yes.
right.
That's just how it is, and you keep it moving. They tell you not to worry, to stress about that the last audition that you had. Like once you do that audition, forget about it
Yeah,
and move on to the next. Because I can do an audition like I did an audition Friday, and I probably won't hear about that audition until like months.
mm,
But you know what I'm saying? Like if I book it, like it could be months down the road, and I've been a forgot about it, and been working on other auditions and stuff. Like this, just how it is. You do the audition, and once you're done, you forget about it and you move on. Don't stress about it because it's not in your control.
and it sounds like it's a very timely process.
Mm.
So do they have like we're shooting or we're doing casting calls for this role from this time to this time or
Yeah, they have it. I mean, but it can always be changed because if they haven't found, what they're looking for, the dates can be extended.
right?
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they do have a deadline.
Yeah,
Yeah, they always have a deadline.
man, it's just sound like it's just not wake up. I want to be in the acting business, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start acting. Like,
Yeah, no, I done heard a whole bunch. Like, if I can show you, like, to the roles that I submitted to over the years, like, it's a lot. It was a lot of no's before I got, to some yeses.
yeah,
And that's just how it is. And we look at it as us just using it as practice.
right,
We just using it as practice and as to get better with each audition that we do.
right.
Because that's auditioning is like 99.9% of acting. You're always auditioning.
Wow.
That's the job right there. So yeah, you audition more than you are in the like in a show, on a TV
Right.
show. Like you're auditioning more than you are on TV. Put it that way.
Wow. I would never thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
I would never thought of that.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
yes.
Well, this has been informative. Um, definitely for me. And I've talked about this
Mm.
process plenty of times, and still, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's good stuff. So, hey, before we end, just go ahead and tell the viewers a little bit about you, how to get in contact with you, and anything else you want them to know.
Yes. You guys can follow my Instagram account is at Kiki Sharice, KeiKeishErris on Instagram. And also I have created some journals and notebooks. Here's one of them right now. It's called Celebrate Your Wins that I created. They are now available on Amazon. And the link is in my bio on Instagram. So if you would like to purchase, feel free to do so. This is my journal that I created. So yeah.
No last words, no last comments. Like, go out and get it.
Yeah, go hey, anybody that wanna act who
Yeah,
has the heart and the desire to be an actress or an actor, I say do it. Do
yes,
it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
yes.
Do it afraid. If you're scared, I don't know what to do. The first thing you do is get in somebody's class. That's the first thing you do is to get in somebody's class, get training, and it will take off from there. Get training. After that, find somebody. It could just be yourself. Start making your own content. Use your iPhone. Make your own. Write your own stuff. That's what they tell people now. Create your own content, post it on Instagram, and I mean it's a lot of casting directors. They do check social media, so do it if that's what you're interested in doing. Do it.
Well,
I believe in you. I support you all the way.
and you can reach her on her IG right there. All
Yes.
right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It has been a pleasure to have you on here
Yes.
and give us your perspective and your experience on breaking out into the professional acting role. Thank you very much for being on here.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what, like I said, I've talked to her plenty of times about this because I've just been fascinated and still tonight learn some more. So those of you that are out there and you have children or you even aspire, just know it's not an overnight process. Just know there's some layers to it. She did recommend getting an agent, so you got to be you. You got to figure it out. But I did this show because, you know, like I said, a lot of people have thought about it, and so let's talk about it and see how we can be about it and see if it's something for you. I'm sure going through the schooling process, some people fall off because they realize this is more than what I want. And I'm gonna tell you what, listening to her, I'm gonna be an extra, y'all. But anyway, y'all know I'm already extra. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Let's Talk Family, where we talk about issues that help the family and strengthen the family. If we strengthen the family, we will strengthen the community. I am your host, Warren Mr. Bowtie Feaster, and I always like to end with my 3 points of interest. One, the center of everything is family. Two, be the best you that you can be. And three is called life. Live it. Have a great day.